Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So, I don't know if you all saw the clip of Shannon Sharpe interviewing Andrew Schultz. A lot of people are mad. I don't want to even bring the clip here because it's actually long. Like, you can also see parts of this thing. The bone of contention is that people are mad that Shannon Sharpe brought Andrew Schultz that has always been super not good with people that look like me, both male and female. And somebody is actually here defending that. Why are people very sensitive? Like, it's only kids that are kids are sensitive. So it means if you are being sensitive, it means you are also a kid. Saying that if you do not understand Andrew Shaw's kind of jokes, it means that you do not understand it. So the truth is that some people cannot even differentiate between a lipstick and a lip gloss. So how do you want to tell them that people are being racist to you? Of course, you don't know. For a man to come out on the internet to say that if he had the opportunity to be in the same room with a man that he is going to probably bend, that is breaking. If you as a woman or as a man think that it's okay, you are also part of the problem we are having. If you think coming on the internet to disrespect black women is cool, then you are also part of the problem. And with so many racist rant he has always gone on to denigrate people that look like me. Why are you platforming him? Why are you bringing him to your platform? But that is not, I am not here to cancel anybody because it is not in my place. Let's get into this video.
A few days ago, I made a video about Shannon Sharpe platforming Andrew Schultz, and I see that on TikTok that there's a discourse that's been spreading around now that Shannon Sharpe pushes back on Andrew Schultz and isn't really laughing at his jokes or whatever or something like that from some people that have watched this interview. And my biggest gripe from these types of people who say that, oh, well, he's pushing back on Andrew Schultz or whatever. My whole problem is, in light of the things that Andrew Schultz has said, what makes him more worthy of being on this platform or being promoted over literally, quite literally, anybody fucking else? It would be totally different if Andrew Schultz didn't threaten to grape a black man, disrespect black women, and just come off totally racist at most times when he's making jokes. So my whole thing is, what is there to gain by being there in the first place besides the fact of rage bait and clickbait, of which Shannon Sharpe does not need? The problem that I have with this is that, yeah, but he's pushing back. Why the fuck is he there in the first place? You don't need this type of person to promote your platform or be on your platform. You don't even need this type of individual there in the first place. So the fact that you're giving him, like, what is Andrew Schultz really going to say that we haven't heard in several other interviews already? Like, what is he actually bringing to the table? What is he actually sitting down and discussing? He has bad jokes. He's not funny. He hangs out with a bunch of sycophantic, Trumpist weirdos like Joe Rogan and a bunch of other unfunny weirdos whose jokes often border onto the line of obscene and really, really fucking weird than, actually something that makes people laugh. This was just for clicks. Shannon Sharpe didn't need these types of clicks. That's what I'm saying. And the fact that you can listen to this guy, and have a full-on conversation with him in spite of what he said and trying to, rationalize or reason with him when ultimately he is beyond that already, then I'm disinterested in that. I don't want to see that shit, and I don't give a fuck who's doing it. I don't give a fuck if I respect Shannon Sharpe or anything that he does. You platforming this racist piece of shit who has often disrespected black men and black women and making terrible takes and bad jokes is not something that I'm interested in. And no, I would prefer not to see a brother that I respect doing it. But it just goes to show, when you catch in a bag, you gonna sell the fuck out. And I'm just not interested in it. I don't give a fuck if Shannon Sharpe pushes back on Andrew Schultz. Fuck Andrew Schultz, period. And if you can listen to all the bad takes and horrible jokes he said, fuck you too.
Shannon Sharpe literally told Andrew that his jokes were not okay, especially when they involve negative stereotypes towards a group of people. He had Andrew fiddling in his seat, very uncomfortable with him saying, no, it's not okay. No matter how much Andrew tried to explain that it is okay, Shannon said no. Y'all really be so quick to cancel one of our own, not even realizing y'all playing right into the game that they want us to play into. Okay, he had the man on the show because of money. We all want to make some money. But he stood on business as well while that man was on the show, sitting in that seat. To know that the people in that industry already don't like Shannon, and for us to add fire to the flames that he's already under, if y'all didn't know, the game is for us to hate each other. They allow one of us to get so far just for our own community to be our worst enemies and cancel us. I mean, come on, he told that man that if one of them tried to joke like that around him, he said, I'll lay him out. What I really think is, though, is that a lot of y'all didn't even watch the interview. A lot of y'all saw the clips of him and Shannon just a keying, and that's it. Wake up, use your brain, do your research, or our community will forever be crippled.
Why don't you like him? I don't like anybody who disrespects blackness in any kind of manner. If I smacked you right now and then said, just kidding, would you still like me? Because that's what he does. He will disrespect black people in a casual conversation and leech off the black community at the exact same time and then say, oh, just kidding, under the guidelines of comedy. But when you're talking about a group of people in basic conversation, then that's when it becomes disrespect. In this conversation with Shannon Sharpe, he was not specifically being disrespectful, but just because he said something intelligent one time, for me, it doesn't erase the disrespect. I'm one of the old school black people who, where you disrespect black people, we got a problem. I don't leave there to be no space. And there's this group of black people that I absolutely despise. And that's the group of black people who let there be space in between them and white people that they can sprinkle on disrespect. And then either think that they can stand on the backs of patriarchy or stand on the backs of classism, and that their blackness does not supersede their status. And when they constantly, they always get reminded that they are just another at the end of the day, and then they act so shocked. I'm just the type of black man who don't let people play in his face. I'm the type of black man who stands on his blackness, and I put my blackness first and foremost because that's important to me. And not everybody understands me, and not everybody stands on those values, but I don't allow disrespect to the black community, especially black women. Today was the last day I watched that Shannon Sharpe shit because you ain't got no reason to have Andrew Schultz up here. You ain't got no reason to have Andrew Schultz up there. And the fact that you did not press this man at all, you the same type of people I do not want to associate with. Because for me, it looked like Andrew Schultz was just trying to clean up his image and you were trying to help him. I got a black friend, and his name is Shannon Sharpe. Isn't your platform meant to uplift black people? What in God's name is Andrew Schultz, king of racist jokes, doing on your platform? Cackling, he and ha ha. No, I don't know. For me personally, it's just there's just two different type of black people. Some people stand on it, some people don't. I just stand on it. You see how Andrew Schultz is constantly going around black spaces, but amongst black men. He is not trying to play those games with black women because he knows what he did wasn't right. He knows what he did was some buffoonery. He knows what he did does not fly amongst black women. And he thinks going around black men gives him that exact same pass. And the fact that it hurts to see black men, I don't know, for me, if I see somebody do anything, even an inkle of racism, I don't fuck with it. I do not give people this kind of space to even play these games in my presence and or area. So for the simple fact that he knows what he did, but yet he is hovering around black men and black men are allowing him to be in these spaces, this is why you cannot fuck with everybody in the community, because everybody is not down for the community. Because while black women have to just stand on their blackness as a woman, black men are out here trying to stand on top of patriarchy instead of their blackness. And that's what I cannot fuck with.
I personally love seeing black folks take a stand in what they believe in, even if it's something I don't agree with. And this somewhat or semi-backlash I'm seeing regarding Shannon Sharpe having Andrew Schultz on Club Shay Shay is just unnecessary. Like, I understand that there are black folks, especially out there, who want all black folks to take a stand against anybody they consider to be disrespectful to black people. Whether you think Andrew Schultz was or was not is irrelevant in this conversation. Every black person doesn't have to fight the power to be of value. We all know Shannon Sharpe is not a journalist, although he operates in that space when he's working for ESPN, when he's analyzing sports, and on his own platform, Club Shay Shay. So when I'm comparing him to this person, I'm not saying they're comparable skill and talent and education-wise. But Oprah Winfrey is probably the most popular talk show host to ever exist. Her and Jerry Springer. She literally had an entire racist town on her show. The whole audience was from an outwardly racist town, and she had a conversation with them of why they think the way they think, why they say the things why they act the way they act, like on one of the biggest talk shows in the entire country. And she remained that. Everybody understood her place in the American canon of talk shows and entertainment in general. But we gonna hold Shannon Sharpe's feet to the fire for having Andrew Schultz on? Come on, dog.
I want to say it again. Shannon Sharpe isn't so sharp when it comes to these interviews. I said this after the Cat Williams interview. Even Cat Williams warned us when he said that Shannon has a strange allegiance to losers. So I'm not surprised that he had Amber Rose on his show and now Andrew Schultz. And I know he's not a journalist. He's a conversationalist. What kind of conversation can you have with someone who is known to be a misogynist, racist, and very disrespectful to black women? We're going to have this conversation on the same platform that was built by black viewership. But I get why. Shannon is making a sharp pivot. He's following the same blueprint like the Fox network did and now Tubi. Create topics and shows that appeal to black people. Then when they get their viewerships up and their brand deals up, they start to have people on their platform that don't look like us and don't have the same views as us. And we've seen this happen when The Breakfast Club had Rush Limbaugh on their show. At this point, he's run out of black guests that are going to give him his viral moment. This sharp pivot is going to lead him in the same direction that Fox Network did when they found their financial success.
So for some reason, Shannon Sharpe chose to have Andrew Schultz on his show. And a lot of people are understandably upset. And my whole thing is, why are we making Andrew Schultz feel comfortable about coming into spaces where he really don't belong? And he's shown that he don't even deserve to be in certain spaces because his special brand of comedy comes at the expense of people of other races. You know, we become the butt of the joke. And he doesn't understand why some of us have a problem with him. It's because he inserted himself in the culture, and now he has this like attitude where he feels like he can speak. But when you have people like Charlamagne the God, or you have people like Shannon Sharpe that keep giving this man a platform, that's why he feel like that. That's the problem with some of you people that want to invite everybody to the cookout. This is what happens. Sometimes you end up with an Andrew Schultz. But I put the blame squarely on Charlamagne the God's shoulders, because back when Charlamagne started his podcast, we didn't even know who Andrew Schultz was. He didn't have a name or nothing. It's to the point where when Charlamagne started the podcast, I'm like, who is this dude? When, you know, he showed that Andrew Schultz was going to be his co-host, it's like, who is he? And out of all the qualified people that you could have gave a platform to, why would you choose him? You feel what I'm saying? Like, why give it to him? It's so many other people he could have gave that opportunity to. And this just emboldens this man. He has like this confidence now. And Charlamagne be putting a battery in his back, because anytime he's done anything problematic, the first thing he'll do is run to Charlamagne and talk about it. And just about every time, Charlamagne just be like, you know what I'm saying? I remember when Angela Rye, this was some years ago, Angela Rye came on the podcast. Andrew Schultz was so disrespectful to that woman. I don't agree with everything Angela Rye says or does, but at the end of the day, she is a woman, and she's a black woman. Andrew Schultz was so disrespectful to her, and the only thing that was I wasn't surprised by him being disrespectful, But the way Charlamagne the God would just sit there and he ain't really say nothing, like he just let it rock. I don't understand. Getting back to the subject, I don't understand what was the point of bringing Andrew Schultz on Shannon Sharpe's platform. There's nothing this man brings to the culture that helps it. There's nothing, like, we don't need to understand anything about him. We don't need to know his views or opinions on anything. So why bring him on that platform? What was the purpose? What crowd was Shannon Sharpe attempting to appeal to by having him on there? And I'm going to, full disclosure, I haven't watched the episode. I just seen a couple clips. I don't want to watch it because I really, really, really don't like that dude. I really don't like Andrew Schultz. I really, 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 really don't like that guy. I mean, really. For somebody I never met in real life, I really don't like him. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I could be in the same room with him. You feel me? I'm talking about that is to that level of dislike. I don't think I could be in the same room with him. So I don't want to watch a show. All the clips that I've seen of him on Shannon Sharpe's show have been against my will. I've just been scrolling and they've been popping up. And then I heard the consensus that a lot of people had a problem, and rightfully so, because we don't need his perspective on anything. You feel what I'm saying? Even with we don't. His opinion, he doesn't even have good opinions. He doesn't make valid points. It's steeped in colonizer rhetoric. If you get my drift. His whole persona, the way he talks, the way he spins certain arguments, certain points he tries to make, it's all drenched in colonialism. You feel me? We don't need that over here. We don't need to hear anything about him. We don't need to see anything about him. So that's the only thing. I wouldn't try to cancel Shannon. I'm not even a fan of Shannon like that, but get your money, bro. But when you do stuff like that, when you bring somebody like Andrew Schultz and give him a platform, it does make me look at you like, what was the point in that? Even if you brought him on your platform to check him or chastise him, you at the same time, you are giving him publicity. At the same time, you are helping him grow his audience. You are helping him grow his brand. And you're kind of validating him by bringing him on your platform. Even if you bring him on and check him, in his twisted mind, he's still going to think, well, I'm doing something right. You can call it problematic if you want, but look at the spaces I'm coming into. People want to call me racist, but look at the people that keep calling. You feel what I'm saying? The best thing to do with a person like him is to ignore them. Don't give them a platform. Don't say their name. You feel what I'm saying? So that was a bad look. That's my take on it. It was a bad look. Anyway, what do you think? Like, comment, follow. As always.
All right, folks, nothing to fucking see here. Just another fucking fake outrage about some shit that really don't mean nothing about anything. Let's break it down, shall we? So Shannon Sharpe decided to interview Andrew Schultz. Now, we all know the black community has their differences with Andrew Schultz, but for whatever reason now, they making it seem like this nigga Shannon Sharpe interviewed fucking Hitler or somebody, bro. The primary angle for most people that got think pieces on this topic is that, oh, Andrew Schultz says a lot of negative things about black people in the name of comedy, even when it's not funny. And I'm like, okay, I can understand that. But why would Shannon Sharpe interview him knowing how we feel about him and all the negative stereotypes that he displays on black people? One might ponder, let me think about it. It's called money. The way this shit works is you interview people that you know is going to get people riled up, and it draws money. It makes money. That's the whole point of the fucking show. Not to mention, y'all make it seem like Shannon Sharpe went up there and fucking kissed his ass. They had a real conversation. And at some point, Shannon Sharpe actually did press him to some degree, which I expected a nigga to swing on him mid-set. Like, what are you expecting of these people? And I know you're going to get a couple of them in the comments like, oh, he'll do anything for money. Well, here we are. This is no different from us shaming a girl for getting on OnlyFans and showing her body for money. But y'all say, oh, this is her life. Let her do what she want. It's his life. It's his show. Let him do what the fuck he want to do. If y'all don't want to support it no more, just don't support it. It's very, very simple. But what I will say is this. It's very easy to quote unquote cancel somebody when you're not really a big fan of them, right? Because a lot of y'all favorite celebrities be doing some weird shit. Y'all girl Doechii the other day just said that heterosexual men are red flags. I don't see no cancel culture looking out for her. But we want to cancel Shannon Sharpe for interviewing a nigga and at some point in time standing on business and pressing him and having him be uncomfortable in the interview. Yeah, y'all niggas gonna have to miss me with that shit. Cause a lot of y'all would have did the same motherfucking thing especially if they put that bag in your face. Y'all do a lot of wild shit for money now. And honestly, it don't even be a lot of money. I've seen y'all get, bro. I'm gonna keep that to myself. Y'all keep the change.
I really don't get why so many people are mad at Shannon Sharpe with the Andrew Schulz interview. And I feel like it's only people who don't really watch his comedy. Okay, like I followed Andrew since like MTV days. And I followed him and Charlamagne to Brilliant Idiots when they did their podcast. I've been to his comedy shows. He has such a diverse group of an audience. And Black people, some are so offended that Shannon Sharpe interviewed him, and they're calling him a coon, they're calling Andrew a racist, and this man jokes on everybody, every ethnic group. And some of y'all, I'm just like, can y'all just not take jokes? Like, people nowadays are so sensitive, and this is why kids also are so sensitive. If you've never had a group of friends that are multicultural and you've never joked with each other, then I feel really bad for you. And not only that, some people are like, some things just shouldn't be joked about and stereotypes and this and that. As Black people, we joke on white people all the time about the way they dance, about their hair, about how they smell a certain way when it rains. Like, please save me the fuck. And I truly just don't get it. Like, what has this man truly said that has been so divisive, that has been so offensive? Because to me, they're just jokes. Us Black people have said so many jokes towards other cultures. And y'all are acting like we can't take ourselves when like someone else comes and does a joke about us. But not only us, but other people. It's not like he's just like joking about Black people for his entire bit. Like, come on, y'all. And he's grown up in New York. Like, there's so many different kinds of cultures here. People all interact with one another. I could see maybe some of y'all who are in the South, maybe it's a bit more like racism, so things might be a bit more tense. But I feel like in places like New York or just like larger cities, it's just more free. It's more like we're all here together. So it's really no like, I don't know. Everyone has their biases or their prejudices or even what's it called, like stereotypes. And I have a lot of Hispanic friends. I'll joke with them every here and there about little things about their culture, and they'll do the same for me. And it's no what do you call it? Like, it's no hard feelings. It's no hard feelings at all. It's all just jokes. And we laugh together. Like, come on. Like, this world is just so sensitive nowadays. And I would rather, and if someone's such a racist, then why would they want to be around people of other backgrounds so much? Why would you surround yourself with people who you hate so much, who you dislike so much? And please don't give me no historical background on, well, back in the day, they did this and that. No, I'm sorry. For this topic, that's not going to work for this situation.
Shannon Sharpe, please come to the front of the congregation, beloved. We'd like a word with you. And I think you know why. Shannon, stop doing interviews where you're out of your league. Just stop. That Andrew Schulz interview was ridiculous. It made you look like a clown. You essentially allowed a platform for a man with white supremacist views, misogynistic, all these things. You allowed him on your platform where you didn't challenge him on anything because you were ill-equipped to do so. Stop trying to chase those Cat Williams numbers, baby. That was organic. That happened naturally. That wasn't even anything you anticipated, Shannon. So stop trying to duplicate it. You're not going to duplicate it through manufacturing the moment. Cut it out, bruh. You looked real silly. I didn't even watch the interview. Once I saw who you had on your show, it was like, I already know you're not equipped to really have that conversation. You're not equipped to. I'm not implying anything else, but you're ill-equipped to have that conversation. Stay in your lane, man. Stay in your lanes, beloved, respectfully. You need to do that because that was a bad look. And then how do you try to like flip it at that point? Man, bye Shannon. Your time is past. It's time to find somebody else. I'm so disappointed.
Shannon Sharpe been a coon. I don't know why anybody is surprised by his antics. When he was on that show with Skip Bayless, smoking Black and Miles, drinking Hennessy, acting an ass, I knew he was a coon. I knew he was a clown. The man comes from very humble beginnings with his country ass. He used to get rained on while he slept because they ain't had no roof. Nothing's off limits for him. He'll do anything for some clout, some clicks, some money, anything. Him having Andrew Schultz on his podcast should not come as a surprise to anybody. When he had Cat Williams on there last year and it went mega viral, I knew it was over. I knew nothing was off limits. Nobody should be surprised by Shannon Sharpe. I don't know why anybody would hold him to such a high standard. It's fucking Shannon Sharpe. It's Shannon Sharpe. Like, I need y'all to be for real. Sorry with the think pieces. It's fucking Shannon Sharpe. He's a coon. He's a clown. All right?
I know people are mad at Shannon Sharpe for interviewing Andrew Schultz, but Andrew Schultz wouldn't have made it to that podcast. Wouldn't have been on that podcast had it not been for Charlamagne, who put him on that platform. Charlamagne, who does a podcast with him every week. Charlamagne, who I don't see anybody giving him any smoke. So, something to think about.
This is all I got from this video. And for that lady wearing hats, I was saying that, the kids are sensitive. And why is it that, people are being very sensitive with Andrew Schultz's joke or jokes? See, young lady, it looks like you don't even know what it's piping, because some of you are not current with what is going on what Andrew did, right? And I just really do not understand how some people platform some people. And I know it's all about the money most times for some people. But for me, there are some people I will never bring to my show, right? For actually talking down on my people. Because what Andrew said was not joke. And what he said was racist. This is not the first, the second, or the third time that he has made some silly comments about my own people, right? And the fact that some people are defending Andrew, it's crazy. I probably might try to defend Shannon Sharpe, but to an extent. Why will I try to defend him is because he tried pressing him on what he did and that it's not cool and all that. That is the only place I will try to, but why bring Andrew to your show? Because I don't understand why sometimes Black people platform people that are not supposed to. And if you look around, they go from one platform to another, Black men and all that. You will never see them on black because Black women are always standing on business. They know what they want, they go for it. I am not saying Black men, but Black men are a little bit easier to penetrate. When a Black woman stamps on something, there is no going back. I don't know if that does make sense. So how do you tell me that somebody is overreacting, or why are people overreacting for bringing him to the show, right? Did you hear what he said about Kendrick Lamar? That was actually something that, I don't know, that really pissed me off. And for how many days that was actually trending. And the one he did also with Funhand and James, the British guys, and also how, oh my God, no, Andrew does not deserve any platform. And one thing I know is that there are these people that Black people are always looking for a way to platform. We never ever give you that platform. But you all are always very quick to bring them to your platform. I know it's for the clicks and all that, but sometimes there are some good, there is an extent you will get, or you wouldn't want some things to be on your channel, right? Because you feel like that is not necessary. You are not looking for subscribers. You are not when you are made, you are made. You are also supposed to keep it top notch and nothing to spoil or to spoil your reputation. Sometimes I feel like Black people sometimes do not, but it's okay if not everybody will be be all for Black people, and that is life. And it happens in other community too. I do not expect everybody to be all out for us or for you and all that. So it's part of life, and it's something that we must actually learn to accept, that some people will always go astray, some people will always stick with you, some may not stick with you. I don't know if that does make sense. So for me, I am not trying to probably cancel Shannon or yeah, I am not canceling him, but I am just going to leave it at that. He knows his reason for bringing Andrew to the show, and I hope he is doing great. I hope his heart is really clear, and I hope he is really happy, because sometimes what people, the kind of character people portray also shows how you appreciate or how you value your own community. And sometimes I do not expect people to value people that they do. I don't know. If you do not value yourself, sometimes you might not be able to place value on other people. It is only you give out what you have. I don't know if that does make sense. I love my people, and you can, I don't know how to explain, but when you love your people and you also show it, that is it. But when you do not love yourself enough, you will not be able to show people that you love them. I think that is what I'm trying to say. So I don't want anybody to take it to heart and all that. But this is also the reason why you should know the people that you watch and people you do not watch. I think that will make life easier. By the time they start saying that there is a decline, ask other platforms that there is a decline in whatever they are doing. They have to use their tongue. It is using your tongue to count your teeth. Bye for now.